Konnichiwa, my name is Kaori Nagao, your Las Vegas lifestyle specialist. Today I'm very excited to introduce my friend, Sally Jaramillo. She is the reporter and weekend weather anchor for Channel 8, and I'm very excited to share with you her story. All right, Sally, thank you so much for being here today. We're here at Ola Mexican restaurant. Yes, here in Southern Highlands where we both live. So I'm really excited to, obviously interview you, Sally. You're an inspiration in the journalism field. I think it's really important for our viewers to really hear your story and how you got to Las Vegas.
Yeah, I can't wait to share it.
Awesome. So starting with Sally's bio, Sally joined the 8 News Now team. It's almost 4 years ago in November as a reporter, weekend weather anchor. Born and raised in LA, Sally is overjoyed to be close to home. Journalism has been Sally's passion since she first held a mic at a very young age in her family's talent shows. Early on, she knew she could be a voice for her community through storytelling. Sally believes in the power of journalism to inspire, change the world, and be a voice for those in need. She studied media studies and Spanish at Pitzer College, one of the Claremont colleges. She delivered the weather and the news segment on the school's underground radio station, 88.7 FM, KSPC. When she graduated, she worked for a casting director making national commercials. However, her dream of being a journalism was too big, and she decided to work for KABC, LA as a news assistant. It was there she learned everything about news and met her TV mentors. She became a traffic producer for the morning show. Then it was time for her to make her dreams a reality. Sally joined KIDY Fox News, KXVA Fox 15 in San Angelo, Texas, and there she worked as a multimedia journalist, weather forecaster, and morning anchor. When she's not working, she loves to travel, sing, spend time with her husband, family, friends, and eat delicious food. So we have to talk about that too, Sally. She also enjoys giving back to her community. She's part of a mentoring organization called MOSTE, Motivating Our Students Through Experience, and USC's NAI, Neighborhood Academic Initiative. Her biggest role model is her mother, who has shown her that through hard work and perseverance, any dream is possible. Sally hopes to make lots of friends in Las Vegas and inspire her new community through her stories. So welcome, Sally.
Thank you so much.
Oh my God, that's an impressive bio.
Oh, thank you.
So talk to us about, I guess, growing up in LA. Which part of LA are you from?
So I'm actually from the Mid-City area. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar.
Yeah.
That's close to Culver City, close to Jefferson,
yes.
Where USC is at. So growing up in that area, LA has always been a dream, obviously. It's been fun. I mean, I've always enjoyed just being a part of programs, volunteering. I think that might have my mother might have played a big role with that because she's always kept us busy.
Right.
But yeah, growing up, I've always been fascinated by the cameras, fascinated by just going in front of the public and speaking. So I think that was always one of my biggest dreams, just being in front of a camera. And then it developed into, wow, look at these reporters, look at, these TV anchors, and just grew up watching news and fell in love with it. Obviously was watching the Spanish channels because that's my first language back home. And so we would watch Univision and sit as family and just, enjoy it. And I prayed that one day I would be in that similar situation.
That's amazing. And you talk about your family talent show. So talk about that. Like, how old were you when you held the mic? And was it an annual family talent show that you did?
So we would normally do, I guess my family is known we're like the Brady Bunch. We did everything together, always, helped each other out, and I think till the day we still do that. But it was just like we would create these talent shows like every Friday, and first it started off with singing, and we would love Selena. And so we would sing and dance, and then it became where my uncles got involved and they grabbed the camera and recorded us.
Aww.
And obviously in TV they had these, these channels had these sign your kid to be record them doing this.
Yeah.
Send it to us. And so I always pushed my mom and my uncles, please, can you send it? they would look for this child that looked like another girl. I never looked like the girl on TV, but I always wanted to be recorded, send my demo, go, mom, do it. So that was always like one of my, we just played along, and I was very fortunate to have people around me that always believed in me, I guess. Like, they never said, no, you don't look like it, no, you don't fit those that category. They always just went along with it. And I don't know, I guess that made me like stronger, made me believe that one day I could get there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you weren't ever shy in front of cameras? It was just kind of, you were born with confidence and you like that kind of?
Well, it's like at the beginning, and I think to this day, you get a little nervous every time you see a camera.
Yeah.
And, but once you're in the spot, I guess, everything just flows, and you got to remember to be yourself, and the true you will come out. And I think that's oftentimes that's what I try to remember.
Right.
So yeah, obviously every time a camera's in front of me, to this day I get nervous, but then I forget the camera is there.
Right.
Or the camera becomes another family member.
So there you are, you guys are family members, and that's how I am too. Like, everyone will always ask me, like, you're so natural in front of cameras, like, do you get nervous? And I do, but it's just me, you're just being your real self, and then it just becomes natural. And we'll make mistakes and we'll have outtakes, and that's all the funny parts, we're human, and that's kind of like part of me, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. And then, so you grew up in LA, and then when did you move to Texas?
So I grew up in LA, and obviously, like you mentioned, I was in the commercial casting business right off of college. Although I always wanted to be in journalism, I didn't go to school for journalism, and I think that's one of the things that like a lot of people, are like, wow, how did you do it?
Yeah.
So I got my foot into casting, but then my dream was just so big that every time I would see people come and do these casts, like I wanted to be in news.
Yeah.
So I left that, and I became an assistant for KABC in Channel 7 in LA.
Nice.
And so what did that entail? That was one of the biggest and most fascinating journeys I can tell you. We got to experience really what the news industry was all about. You were not treated any different than any other reporters there. I was an assistant,
right?
But I was given every shift that you can possibly think of. So we started off sometimes at 9 a.m. and you would go home, your regular 6 p.m. shift. But then they would switch it around the following week, and you would do graveyard shift, and it was insane. But I can tell you that through that internship / assistant role, I was able to gain so much knowledge just by seeing. Obviously, you learn as you see.
Right.
So I was able to do a little bit of everything: clean scripts, sit next to, these journalists and learn from them, ask them advice, and that's how they became my biggest mentors. After that, I knew it was time for me to put my foot in the door and say goodbye, because I was obviously, you start getting a little bit too comfortable, and you're like, okay, it's my time to do this now.
Right.
Put my skills to test. So I made a reel and I sent it out, and then eventually someone in Texas, my news director, ended up believing in me and called me and said, hey, like, we want to talk to you. Became a little bit more official, and then you're hired. So obviously that took a lot from me, because I came from a background where we're always united, always together. It's hard to leave your family behind. And at the time, I was also engaged. So that was another of the, I guess, challenges. But I left because my dream was so big that I just had to do it. I left, and I became an MMJ, multimedia journalist for Texas. And to be honest with you, I had no clue what I was doing, but I went with it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I mean, you did everything, right? From like the reporting to the weather. What was like the biggest takeaway from that Texas experience for you?
I think the biggest was that, and a lot of people are gonna probably laugh every time I remember this, I'm like, wow. So I never cared to drive. I really dislike driving. That's one of my biggest, I guess, things that I say. But at the time, I never cared to have a car or drive in LA, because I always had like my family, right? When I left to Texas, obviously one of the requirements to have this role as a journalist, you need to drive,
right.
You know? So I took my fear away from, you know, getting on the highway, and I had to do it. So I guess that was one of the biggest challenges, because I had to drive myself to every story.
Right.
I had no clue how to edit, and I had to learn. And there were times, you know, you sit and you're like, you sit in the car and you're like, what am I doing? You know, I should just go back home.
Yeah.
And I just give up. But, you know, something in me was always, no matter how many tears, no matter how frustrated I was, I knew that one day I would get there. One day I would be better. And it's all a learning process.
Right.
Baby steps, right?
Yeah, yes.
And I know at that time it was hard for me to understand that, but now I can see that small victories are still victories.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And how many years were you in Texas total?
I was in Texas for a year.
Okay.
Right after that, I signed a 2-year contract. But I was there for a year. I got married, and then went back. But at the time, you know, I was like, well, how am I going to do this? Like, I was living away from my husband now. I know it sounds so funny, but I was like, no, I just, you know, I knew I had to go back home. Now that I'm married. So I was separated maybe about 2 months from my husband, and then I was in California for about a month.
Yeah.
And then that's when I just sent out my stuff again, because I missed the news world, I missed TV.
Right.
And then my news director now, she called me, and now we're here.
In Las Vegas, so Channel 8. That's awesome. And so you've been here almost 4 years.
Almost 4 years.
Yeah. How's it like living here? How's the world here? Is it very different in different areas? Obviously, you've been LA, Texas, and Vegas. Is it very different, or it's kind of the same?
You know what? It's different. I think Las Vegas reminds me of LA. When I moved here, obviously, I once again confused. This is like a bigger market than the market I started. So there were challenges. I felt oftentimes I still wasn't ready. And you know, we always put these things in our mind. We're not ready. But I think at the end of the day, it's like, okay, well, what is ready, right? What makes me, I'm not perfect. I have to remind myself I'm not perfect. So, you know, you're here and you learn, and I never thought I would be staying this long, but this market just grows, and you know, and the people, and you ended up you fall in love, and I've been so happy here. It's weird to even count the years. But and now with the expansions and everything's just growing, and it's so easy to go back to LA. And honestly, like I'm like, hey guys, come to Vegas. It's so much fun. We have everything. Just love it. So it's so nice to be here. I can tell you that the people they just make it just great. I mean, you know, when we talk about it, locals versus the Strip, you know, that's a whole new world.
Exactly.
And it's fun to be a part of it.
That's amazing. And I love how you obviously document everything on your social media, Sally. I think it's so important for people to know what goes on in your daily life. So talk to us about your daily life.
Oh, my daily life. I'm all over the place. I think we're the same in that aspect, right? Sometimes my family is like, oh my God, you do too much. My friends are like, you need to stop. Just why don't you go take a nap? But I truly enjoy just, you know, waking up every day and okay, let's see what the day has planned, or not making up things. So I enjoy obviously starting my day with a cup of coffee, a green juice. I'm big on juicing. And then just going on. I love Target. And I love meeting up with friends, catching up. I love helping out people too if they need my help. Inspiring them, obviously. And just taking the time. Sometimes, you know, shopping also. Just having me time, having friends time, and then volunteering if I can. Just trying to, you know, I always say I overbook myself, but at the end of the day, I think that makes me happy. So as long as I'm happy, I think it all works out, right?
Absolutely. And talk about your mentorship. So you're part of 2 programs. Talk about that.
So I'm part of MOST, Mentoring Our Students Through Experience. I started in that program since the 7th grade. I was a part of the program where you would have a mentor that, you know, a female mentor that would guide you, inspire you, and kind of just teach you, I guess, the ways. And I think part of the reason why I'm also here doing what I love is because of programs like these, right? They never let me alone. If there was a challenge or a school thing, I needed a tutor or whatever it was, they always try to help me get that resource. It always, I always had these amazing women who, were career, they had a career, they had whatever it is, something that you looked up to, and they never let me alone. So they always hold my hand, I guess you would say. So I went through the program, high school, college, we made it get expanded to college as well. And to this day, I still check in with them. And now, I hope to still one day become a mentor, because I feel like because of these women, I am who I am today. I can't take all the credit. Aside from that, I'm a part of NAI. So that's a program around the USC neighborhood where it's for kids who live around the neighborhood and who want to be academics, I guess, successful, and don't have the resources maybe to go to college. So growing up, I was part of one of those kids too. So my mom, she was she found a way to find these amazing programs, and I was a part of this program. So I would take my math and English class at USC, and then I would end up going to my high school, which was Manual Arts, right there, close by. A lot of people know Manual Arts by, maybe it has a bad reputation. It's been one of the oldest high schools in LA. But NAI would try to get the kids to, succeed, I guess.
Right.
And so, going to USC every summer, every day, it kind of also made me build that confidence that it didn't matter if my family didn't have money or if I lived in that particular neighborhood. All of that doesn't matter. If you have a dream, if you have a goal, you work hard and you will achieve it. So that program, another of the programs that has always been behind me, motivated me, taught me everything I needed. Whenever I needed a laptop, a scholarship, obviously both of those programs provided me with scholarships. So always and forever will be grateful with them.
And that prepared you for the college, right?
For college, to get into that private school, and financially as well. So.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I love how you're still in touch with those programs, because obviously it helped you. And I'm like that as well. If there's any mentorship opportunities, I went to UC Riverside, I went to an international school growing up. I till this day stay in touch with my UCR Alumni Association as well as my international school, and any way I can to just give them information, what I went through. And especially with my international school kids, I tell them when I graduated in 1998, we did not have the internet and the access to the website like we have today. There was no LinkedIn. So we were just basing off of information from our counselor. But look at it now. You could reach out to other alumni, right, that are in the U.S. doing programs that you want to do. You need to take advantage of that. You need to connect with these people online.
That's true.
So you want to let them know, because they're kind of going through that process where they're kind of lost and they think they don't have the resources, but until we tell them that they do, it doesn't click to them, right? They're oh my gosh, that's right. And I tell them, connect with me, whatever I could do to help and connect you with the right people in whatever industry, let me know, because I've been now living in the U.S. more than half of my life. Whatever I could do to help. It's a fellow alumni from my school, right? So giving back,
you give back.
Definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. So I know you talk about food, so let's talk about what your favorite restaurants are here in Las Vegas.
Oh my goodness, I have so many favorite restaurants. I just love food, and I think nowadays, we were talking about social media, it's so fun to me to just record every, the pretty plates, the pretty signs, Instagrammable pictures that you can get. My husband's probably super annoyed. Every place I go, I just love it. I think, especially Las Vegas, it has so many unique places. And then we're gonna start out with my community. Obviously, I think we have great places here in our community of Southern Highlands. To start off, just the shopping center alone, so many. We can start off with Mama Bird, super unique, best chicken and waffles in town.
Thank you.
We're gonna go around with spaghetti western. Oh, best Italian restaurant you can think of. The drinks are amazing.
We're sold. Like Sally says it, and we're sold. I'm going there tonight.
We're gonna go to, Ola. It's so colorful.
Yeah.
I mean, just super unique drinks.
Yes.
I love the whole concept that they bring here at Ola with San Miguel de Allende. So San Miguel de Allende is actually one of my favorite places in Mexico to visit. So once I read the bio and I came in, it actually did give me that feel. So I was very excited.
Awesome.
Lindo Michoacan is another of my favorites. And we can go on. I truly I think I can go any place I can go. I can find something that I end up loving and will go back. And so I try to promote as much as possible, especially our Las Vegas restaurants, because I think we're very unique.
Yeah. And we become a foodie town,
and
right?
We are actually.
Yeah. And then I know you were recently at the Resorts World opening, so talk to us about that, because I haven't been there yet, and hopefully soon we'll bring you to Resorts World.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, spectacular.
Really?
Everything was just glamorous. It was just out of this world, to be honest. Just the grand opening, obviously, you get to see. Crazy to see so many celebrities just walking right next to you, right? The food, you have everything that you can think of. I mean, the place was super clean, super big. I think every room really did bring something different to the place, to the casino.
Yeah.
The pool area, something spectacular, Tiesto.
Right.
It's just, I mean, it's amazing. I think they've invested so much, and I think it's showing. And so far, I've been back now, I guess, like 3 times already.
Okay.
I know my coworkers enjoy, the food there, the drinks. It's a good place, and it's really close to Channel 8. So.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So now we just finish our shift, little tour there. Bring when family's in town. But it's amazing just to see. That was one of the casinos I got to see grow and develop, and I heard the whole plan. So it's really fascinating that once I look back, maybe 20 years back, or I'm gonna remember
the opening.
Whole thing.
Yeah,
it's super. It's great.
And within, obviously, this really kind of uncertain times,
right? Everyone's like, how are they opening? They're crazy. They're spending all this money, but. Like I said, when there's a vision and there's a goal and there's the love, I think everything's possible.
That's amazing. Yeah. So to wrap this up, Sally, I want you to kind of give our audience like recommendations if anybody's interested in journalism, or again, I think your big takeaway message is, again, when you have a dream, when you have a passion, you go for it. Of course, there's going to be challenges along the way, but when you have like that light under the tunnel, after the tunnel, like you see where you want to be, you keep going, right? So I definitely get that message from you, and I think I align with you 100% because that's how I saw myself moving from Japan to here. But any kind of like recommendations or just kind of last words for people that might be interested?
There's so much. So obviously, I do want to give a big thanks to my mother, because like you just mentioned, you came here, and it took you guys a lot to learn the language, to go back to school. My mom, already having 4 kids, she did her middle school, her high school. I remember going to high school with her, and it was all adults, and it was just so weird. But at the time, I didn't understand it. But now I look back and I'm like, wow, she was so great. She did all this not only to get a better future for herself, but to teach us that we could do it. It didn't matter where you were born. It didn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter if you have money or not. When you want something, you can get it. So obviously it took my mom a lot. I was able to see it, and that's always like my biggest reminder. When you see someone and you're like, if she can do it, I can do it. And I think that you will always hear bad comments, criticism.
Of course.
There's always all of that. And I think that oftentimes discourages a lot of people. No, I don't want to be criticized. No, I don't want to hear it. No, I can't. And it's always like, yes, you can. And, we're not perfect. So take those internships, reach out to, your community leaders, ask for advice, ask to shadow. Sometimes, like I said, like I didn't go to school for journalism, but I was able to gain all of my knowledge through this, internship, media assistant. So look out for all those opportunities. I think they are all there, and sometimes we just get blocked ourselves. And it just takes a little digging, just reach out and someone will know someone will connect you, and just go for it. And really, I know it's easier said than done to say believe in yourself, but really, if you don't believe in yourself, no one else will. So it really comes from within. And I think sometimes, or part of the reasons why I feel like I get to connect with a lot of people is because I hope that they get to feel the love that I have for this, or the love that I have to share their stories, because I think it does take a lot for someone to trust me. For me to go into their home. I know oftentimes, we have to do certain stories where I have to knock and they're not expecting me.
Right.
And I hope that they understand that this is the job that, I signed up for. But I feel that when they feel that I am human, just stay true to yourself. Always stay true to yourself. Always, do it with love. Be patient,
right?
And just reach out. They're there. Internships. Record yourself. Build a reel. Don't be afraid. Just send it out. You will always get criticized. To this day, I get criticized, and it's okay. It's okay. But every day we're becoming better. We're learning, and I'm still learning. It never stops. One day hope to, I still ask my mentors for advice. I still ask for, the people that I work with who have been here for years, hey, what can I do better? I ask my viewers when they send me comments and they say, you said this wrong, or can you do this, can you do that? I try to respond to everyone because I think that's what's making me better, that hopefully. And one day, I hope to also help and give back. So I don't take anything personal. Don't take anything personal.
Right.
Do it with love. Just believe, and one day you will achieve.
Oh, Sally, that's amazing. Thank you so much for your heartfelt words, and I hope our viewers are touched as much as I am. And again, thank you so much, Sally, for your time. I know you're super busy, so thank you for making the time to share your story today. What did y'all think? Please comment below if you have any questions for Sally, or if you'd like to connect with her. Her contact information will be in the description. Please reach out to her. She'd love to hear from you too, as much as I love hearing from you. So again, thank you so much for watching. And if this is your first time tuning in, thank you for joining Kaori Luxury Real Estate. Please make sure you subscribe, like, and comment. Love to hear from you. And again, stay tuned for my next interviews with these dynamic women that I love showcasing here in Las Vegas. Thank you so much.